Since I've learned in our last course on public health that I will live longer and healthier if I regularly express myself through the media of art, I will now take the chance to prolong my life. I will deliver to you some very important information through the media of film. From now on, we are indeed going to talk about some seriously boring facts and figures, and that's why I've chosen to create some art within the art, and it's going to happen now, and I'm going to present to you these facts and figures through the media of dance. No, that was a joke. I'm going to sing it to you. One of the basic principles we learn in nursing school is to never question anyone's lived experience. We have to faithfully listen to people, whatever they're saying. And this principle is also applied for nations. Italy and Malta claim to have an unbearable burden of irregular immigration. Oh yeah, that must be the 32% British citizens living in Malta. Those Englishmen are so ill-mannered, you think. No, really not. They actually refer to the 1,500 immigrants that arrive from Africa each year. As you know, 1,500 people is an incredible amount of people if you fit them into an elevator. Actually not that many compared to the 400,000 people living in Malta. Malta applies a system of automatic detention. This means all people arriving without a visa gets locked up in very poor prisons. They have to stay there for at least 18 months whilst Malta does something very important that we yet don't know of. In Italy's case, they used to have a law that granted every person residing their basic human needs. Then they realized that this also includes migrants. So then they changed that law. Then Italy banned all media and NGOs from visiting the detention centers. Therefore it's hard to know what's happening there. Yet evidence shows that Italy will greet you with dignity on one condition, and that is if you arrive dead after your boat sank outside Lampedusa. Oh, poor Italy. Oh, poor Malta. Begging the EU for greater responsibility to help the migrants who have fled war and trauma. No, that was a joke. Actually, they beg EU for more money to protect their borders through the program of Frontex. Oh, poor Italy. Oh, poor Malta. It's so sad you bought the right-wing neo-nationalist propaganda. Oh, so that sounds quite depressing, doesn't it? Well, as you all know, all film sooner or later reaches a turning point, and so does this film. Because there are some good news to report. Both countries have improved significantly during the last 14 years. In Italy's case, the per capita income has increased from 19,300 $88 in year 2000 to $34,619 per person in 2013. As for Malta, the strive to have all children in universal primary education has resulted in an improvement. 95.1% of Maltese children were in school by 2012 compared to 87.9% in 1990. How lovely. Moreover, the level of maternal mortality is low in both countries. 5.8 per 100,000 births in Malta and 4 in 100,000 births in Italy. In actual cases, that means 0 deaths in Malta and 23 deaths in Italy in 2013. This is due to the low number of births in Malta. Additionally, the prevalence of HIV is below 0.5% in both countries. Unfortunately, in spite of having populations that score at the very top of measurable health, both Italy and Malta suffer from a political climate based on wartime rhetorics, which leads to a political prioritization of border control and reducing immigration. But doesn't Malta accept a high percentage of the total number of refugees in the world? You'll now ask me, and I'll answer you. Does Malta receives a total of 0.0000039% of the global amount of refugees. And then Malta does not approve every application, so the percentage is actually even lower when it comes to who gets to stay in the lovely country of Malta. One could easily assume that nations as successful as Malta and Italy would have an equal need of NGOs such as the Red Cross to serve the basic needs of their inhabitants as the size of this small pony. And this is a really small pony. Nevertheless, the Red Cross has a strong presence in Malta and Italy. So, what kind of heroic acts are the Red Cross performing in Malta and Italy? To get a better understanding of this, I'm gonna sing a song to you. The Red Cross in Malta and Italy are distributing food and healthcare that 2 of the richest countries in this world would probably be able to distribute themselves. But it's very nice to be nice, and the Red Cross volunteers are really nice, extremely nice. And it's very convenient for a government to have the Red Cross do their work. So it's kind of a win-win situation if you don't consider the fact that who gets care and who gets charity is a matter of race and nationality. So to summarize this, Italy and Malta are on the top of the measurable health and economics in this world, yet we could believe easily that the need for NGOs to help with the public health within the countries would equal the size of this tiny pony. However, the work that NGOs do to sustain the public health equals the size of a pony that wouldn't even fit in my apartment because it's so big. It would look silly if it was standing here. So, whilst NGOs take care of the public health, the politicians are engaged in a debate that is more concerned with addressing the trauma that migration causes Italy and Malta as nations rather than the trauma that Italy and Malta brings upon the migrants. That's stupid.